So I just got back from seeing the movie The Farewell. The film centers around a young American Chinese woman who learns that her grandmother is dying. So she travels to China with her family to be with her for her last few months. However, the catch is, they can't tell her grandma that she's dying. Yep, due to Chinese tradition, it's apparently customary for those not to tell loved ones that they're about to pass on. Therefore, they let their grandmother live blissfully in her comfortable life without knowing of her soon-to-be fate. Meanwhile, our protagonist, being raised most of her life in America, struggles with this concept. She's constantly fighting with herself and her family members about whether they should tell her grandmother or not. It's a delightful movie. Wonderful. Everybody go see it. But what stuck out to me were its emotional themes. They want their grandmother to live a happy, normal life in her last few days. But is it worth it to lie to her? Is ignorance bliss? And I feel that's what our protagonist struggles with. She knows it's not even healthily right to just hide your emotions like that. In fact, there's one scene where her mother even chastises her for constantly blubbering and showing her emotions. The mother says she's not a baby and only cries just for show because it's expected of her. We just do what's expected of us and we don't live for who we truly are. Instead of facing these bad thoughts, we just lie about them and pretend everything's alright. There are far more themes of the film, but I'm not really going to talk about the movie, for once in my life. This part really stuck out to me because I believe we live in a society that acts like this. Even here in America. No, we don't try to hide from our loved ones that they're going to die. At least not as far as I know. However, many of us just want to live in this blissful, happy world. In fact, it's almost gotten to a point where it's wrong to feel sad. You see characters like this all the time in TV and movies. You probably know someone in real life who might be labeled a sourpuss, a bitter person, a mean old grumpy grouch, whatever you want to call them. And to be honest, I think it's harmful to label emotions like that. Are there negative people? Sure there are. Is it healthy to be like that? Not really. Yeah, of course I know we all want to be happy, and that's our goal, but unfortunately, sometimes, heck, even most of the time, I don't think we are. There's this stigma around people where they constantly try to be happy. If you're not smiling, they go, "Oh, why don't you smile? Why don't you talk more? Stop being so mopey. Brighten up. Brighten up," as if that's supposed to just magically help us. I mean, they don't even know. We could be sad because our relative is dying. We could have an illness ourselves. We could have a family problem, a financial problem. I mean, you don't know. Maybe they're just simply not open as you are. There are so many legitimate reasons to be sad. It's healthy to be sad about those things. But if you're not pretending to be a bright personality, oh, you're a sourpuss, you're a grump, you're a mean, miserable person. Why has it gotten to be like that? And then I thought back to this old saying. You've heard it. Look on the bright side. Be an optimist. See the glass as half full. Yes, these are good outlooks in life, but sometimes it's hard to see it that way. Besides, if someone is struggling to look on the bright side, they shouldn't be chastised for being miserable about it. And anyway, the main point is that sometimes we shouldn't just ignore our negative feelings. Just ignore our sad thoughts and turn to the bright side. We shouldn't have to pretend. People are now using the bright side as an excuse. An excuse to turn away from these awful feelings they have that they don't want to face. And when they see someone who's actually brave enough to accept the realities of what they're feeling, it completely throws them off. Their whole mentality is ruptured and they just completely don't understand. As if we somehow disrupt their balanced, stigmatic routine.
It's a beautiful day. I'm going to smile at everybody so they know that I'm happy. There's nothing wrong with me.
What do you mean that costs extra for more cheese? You've ruined my bright, sunny day! Yeah, if you were so positive, you wouldn't be affected by the mood of other people. or some slight inconvenience that might tick you off. That's not how positivity works. You look on the bright side of everything. You try to be positive about whatever happens, not try to be positive about things that go your way. These people aren't truly happy. They're not truly strong. It's this paper positivity they've built up that crumbles at the first instance of something they don't recognize or someone who might be different. They think it's right to pretend to be happy and wrong to be miserable. And they think they have an excuse to condemn people that might feel different than them. And then they go about it as if it ruined their day. Funny, your positive attitude seems like it really just relies on things going your way. Yeah, if you're so positive, then how come you seem to be so affected by the mood of someone else that you see for maybe 5 minutes?
You should smile more. You've ruined my bright sunny day. Now I'm miserable because he was mean to me.
Well, no, I wasn't mean. I'm just really in a really dark place right now. I don't feel like talking.
Well, you're just not looking on the bright side. Try smiling, it might help.
I don't think smiling is going to bring my dog back.
See, that's a negative attitude right there. I won't deal with it. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You shouldn't have to just look presentable for complete strangers. Why do you care about people who don't care about you? A children's film, Inside Out, actually captured this message really well. Joy is doing everything in her power to make Riley happy, to the point where she even tries to abandon sadness, but then realizes that sadness must do what she has to. Riley has to feel sad about this. She has to acknowledge these feelings. We're made to feel bad for feeling bad. It's a harmful idea that doesn't help anyone. When you use looking on the bright side as an excuse, it becomes the dark side. See, if you do that too often, you don't become strong enough to actually deal with your emotions. You need to learn from this. You need to grow up with all these sad feelings you have. What happens when you truly have to face a problem? When you truly have to solve something? You won't be strong enough to do it. If you just keep turning away, putting on a fake smile, and pretending that you're being positive, you're not actually learning anything. In fact, your bright side is really small. It's a small, tiny little speck of luminance. And your darkness is as big as space. That darkness is going to overshadow that little light that is not even there, that you're only forcing. It's this toxic side of the positive side that we've been implementing in our culture. Millions in the world, I would guarantee, most, if not everyone in the world, is sad or was recently sad about something. You don't have to put on a mask just to pretend like you're doing the right thing, as if ignoring your negative emotions actually is the right thing, which it's not. It's unhealthy. Anyone who truly cares will understand your emotions, this heavy weight you've been carrying around. So the next time you're feeling bad, feel bad. Feel upset. It's okay. And anyone who calls you bitter or a grouch, they're just ignorant. In fact, they probably have problems of their own that they're just running from, ignoring. They're the weak ones, not you. You're the strong one. You're acknowledging these hard emotions. These people, on the other hand, they've been living years just ignoring this. They think that what they're doing is right, and they think that what you're doing is wrong. This is something I desperately want to change about society. You are not wrong for feeling sad. It is okay not to be happy all the time. It is healthy to acknowledge these negative emotions and to get through. Because if not, you just bottle it all up. It puts so much stress on your heart and your mind and your soul and your overall state of well-being. It puts so much stress on those things when you just bottle it all up and pretend like it's not there. If you're depressed, then be depressed. One more reference before I go. There's an episode in season 1 of The Simpsons. Not the show's strongest season, to be honest, But there's a really good episode about depression. Lisa starts to feel, well, depressed. At first, Marge tells her to just simply stop feeling sad. Yeah, you know, the things your parents told you. It works every time, right?
Well, it doesn't matter how you feel inside, you know. It's what shows up on the surface that counts. That's what my mother taught me. Take all your bad feelings and push them down, all the way down, past your knees until you're almost walking on them. And then you'll fit in, and you'll be invited to parties, and boys will like you, and happiness will follow.
Put on a smile so she'll be accepted. Accepted by complete strangers that have no respect for her whatsoever. But then we get a flashback where Marge's mother told her the same thing. So Marge thinks it's right. She tells Lisa to just pretend to be happy, just to move on and ignore it. However, she then sees how Lisa is treated at school and realizes that's been the wrong ideal the entire time. She quickly pulls Lisa over and tells her the truth, that if she's sad, she can be sad.
Lisa, I apologize to you. I was wrong. I take it all back. Always be yourself. You want to be sad, honey? Be sad. We'll write it out with you. And when you get finished feeling sad, we'll still be there. From now on, let me do the smiling for both of us.
Okay, Mom.
I said you could stop smiling, Lisa.
I feel like smiling.
It's okay to be who you are, to do what feels comfortable. You don't have to bury your true feelings or who you truly are if being sad and depressed is truly who you are. We live in a scary world, and it's okay to feel down about that. People will probably hate this video, telling them that I want them to be weak, which is totally opposite. Again, weakness is ignoring it. There will be people thinking that I'm saying it's right to be sad and wrong to be happy, which is just completely misinterpreting this video. To be wimpy little crybaby millennials and cry about things that make us sad. But no, we've lived in that world for too long. Look at all these nations throughout history who have just ignored what they felt. They just attached themselves to other things to forget about them. These nations that have just focused on power and greed and patriotic pride for a place just because you were simply born in it. These things are not important. These are things that people have chased just to run from themselves. But they don't help. We've been doing this for thousands of years, and it's time that we stop. That's wrong. The human race has been around for way too long. We need to finally acknowledge our emotions. We need to put our emotions first. Sometimes turning to the positive side, looking on the bright side, is not always the right thing to do at first. Did MLK look on the bright side of racism? Should the Vietnamese people have looked on the bright side of war? Did Fred Rogers look on the bright side of PBS losing its funding? Extreme examples, I know, but you know what I mean. You shouldn't always look on the bright side. You should try to solve issues, which is what I'm saying. I'm not saying to surrender to depression. I'm telling you to get through it. I don't want people to stay sad. You shouldn't stay sad. But you should acknowledge the sadness. You should get through that sadness and fight through it. So you can come out better. Not turn from it and ignore it. See? I don't think sadness is a good thing. But if you're mature enough and you can use it right, you can learn from it. And you can get through it. Like I said, everyone in life, we need to feel bad. We need to feel sad. We need to feel upset. We always do. And we need to deal with it, not turn from it. So stop chastising people for feeling bad, especially when they probably feel bad about something legitimate, something that they're not going to easily get over. You don't know what these people are dealing with. So stop labeling them as grouches and miserable little ungrateful, cynical, pessimistic, nihilistic millennials.
Okay, that long description might only describe me, but you don't know. There's probably plenty more people out there who feel the same way. And I'm here to tell you to feel like that. Please feel like that if you do feel like that. It is okay. Yes, we want to strive for happiness. But you know, we can't just put off all these negative things in the world that are going on. So if you are someone who constantly looks on the bright side, great. But think about this. Why do you look on the bright side? Are you someone who really is emotionally strong and you can easily just look at the bright side of things? If you are, that's great. I'm happy for you. But if not, it's okay. Don't be ignorant. Deal with your emotions. Feel sad. Anyone who really cares for you will help you. Thinking that everyone should just always be positive is completely ignorant and very unhealthy. And that, to me, is the toxic dark side of the bright side. I've been Toby Hope. And that's all I have to say. I hope I helped you.